You ever crash at a friend's place last minute? No warning, they didn't know you were coming. And the second you walk in, you just stop? Everything's in its place. Sink's empty, bed's made. And it's not because they cleaned for you. This is just how it always looks. And you stand there thinking, okay, what is going on with this person? Are they just built different? Do they have some secret extra hours in their day the rest of us don't get? Here's the actual answer, and it's not what you think. It's not that they're more disciplined than you. It's not that they magically enjoy scrubbing counters. Something specific is happening in how their brain relates to their space. And once you see it, you can't unsee it because it explains why your own place turns into chaos the second life gets a little stressful. Let's get into it. Quick story. Back in the 1920s, a psychologist named Bluma Zygarnik was sitting in a cafe watching the waiters work. And she noticed something strange. These guys could remember insanely complicated orders, tables of 6 special requests, all of it no problem. But the second the bill got paid, gone. Like it never happened. She dug into it, and what she found became known as the Zygarnik effect. Your brain holds on to unfinished things way harder than finished ones. An open task doesn't just sit there quietly. It keeps a little thread of attention running on it in the background, whether you're aware of it or not. Now think about your sink full of dishes from breakfast. It's not just sitting there being ugly. Your brain is literally still tracking it while you're at work, while you're trying to fall asleep, while you're trying to focus on literally anything else. That low grade, I still have to deal with that feeling? That's not in your head, that's your head, doing exactly what it's built to do with unfinished business. So when your place is a mess, you're not just looking at mess. You're carrying a dozen tiny open tabs you never closed. Here's something that's going to sound backwards, but stick with me. There's a psychologist, Daryl Baim, who studied how people figure out who they are. And the normal assumption is, you know your personality, and your personality decides your actions. Baim's research said a lot of the time it's flipped. You watch yourself do something, kind of like watching a stranger, and then your brain goes, huh, guess that's who I am. So the person wiping their counter every night isn't doing it because they've already decided, I'm a tidy person. They become that person in their own head because they keep watching themselves actually do the small thing. The action comes first. The identity shows up after, like your brain is just catching up to the evidence you keep handing it. Which honestly is great news, because it means you don't need to feel like a tidy person before you start. You've just been waiting on a feeling that only ever shows up after the behavior, not before. You know this feeling even if you've never put words to it. You walk into a cluttered room and something in your chest tightens a little. You walk into an open, clean space and you just exhale. There's actual research on this. 2 psychologists, Rachel and Stephen Kaplan, spent decades studying what makes certain environments restore your focus while others quietly drain it. And it comes down to how much a space is asking of your attention. A cluttered room is asking something of you constantly, even when you don't clock it. Nothing has a spot, so your eyes are low-key sorting through everything without you telling them to. A clean room asks nothing. There's nowhere for your attention to snag. That's the real reason a tidy space feels like relief. It's not that it looks nice. It's that your brain finally gets to stop working. You know how one dirty plate left in the sink somehow turns into 6 by the weekend? That's not random. There's a theory called broken windows, originally about neighborhoods. One broken window left unfixed signals nobody's watching. And that invites more damage. Your kitchen works exactly the same way. That one plate you left just for now doesn't sit there neutrally. Quietly resets what feels normal. Once there's 2 plates, a third barely registers as a change. That's why your place never gets messy evenly. It's not one big mess. It's 100 tiny permissions, each one making the next one easier to ignore. People who stay on top of it have basically figured this out without ever saying it out loud. Get the first plate. Not because one plate is a crisis. Because leaving it is what gives you permission for the second. There's a researcher, Roy Baumeister, who studied something called ego depletion, the idea that willpower isn't some fixed trait you either have or don't. It's more like a phone battery, full in the morning, draining all day, and there's no topping it up until you sleep. So you at 7 a.m. with a full tank can wipe a counter without even thinking about it. You at 9 p.m., after a full day of decisions, staring at that same counter? You've got almost nothing left, and "I'll do it tomorrow" wins every time. Not because you're lazy, but because that version of you is running on fumes. That's the actual reason mornings work so much better for this. Not because mornings feel fresh and inspiring. Because the task costs you almost nothing before the days had a chance to wear you down. You don't need to become a different person. You just need to make the habit easier than avoiding it, because that's genuinely the whole game. Deal with things right when they happen, not later. That dish, that jacket on the chair. The second you're done, put it away. Don't let it sit long enough to become a decision. Let the small action come first. Don't wait to feel like a tidy person. Do the tiny thing, notice you did it, and let your brain build the identity from there. Catch the first broken window. The one item you tell yourself doesn't matter is exactly the one resetting your baseline. Get that one specifically. It's cheap right now. 10 items in, it's a completely different job. Put it somewhere your energy is actually still there. If your evenings are wrecked, don't fight that. Find the part of your day where you've genuinely still got something left, and build it there instead. A clean home was never proof that someone's more disciplined than you. It's proof they're paying a tiny cost every day instead of a massive one every few weeks. So the person whose place stopped you in your tracks, they're not built different from you. They just stopped waiting to feel like the kind of person who does this, and started doing the small thing first. Try one room. Just one for a week. Deal with it before it piles up. See how it actually feels 7 days from now, and tell me it didn't change something.